Good morning, children of grade 8. I welcome you all for the today's English class. So, children, today in this session, we are going to see two compositions. So, children, already we have completed 8 compositions, that is formal letter, informal letter, notice writing, diary entry, article writing, report writing, message writing, and email writing. So, in this session, we are going to see the next composition, that is story writing, that is our exercise number 9, and paragraph writing, that is our exercise number 10. Let's move into the class. Children, before getting into the session, let us know about what is meant by composition. The word composition means combining or putting together parts to form a whole. Composition can apply to many works of human endeavor. In fact, anything that is arranged or put together using conscious thoughts. Also, the Oxford Dictionary defines the word composition as the word something whole or a mixture is made up. So, a composition takes several ideas and puts them in an order so that the reader can understand an idea or argument. That is known as composition, children. So, children, in today's composition part, let's see the 9th exercise, that is story writing. Children, let's see the detailed study of story writing with its format and tips. Children, first let's see the definition for story writing. What is meant by story writing? A narrative writing, or otherwise known as story writing. A narrative is a story containing specific elements that work together to create interest for not only the author but also the reader. This type of writing makes the reader feel as if he or she were part of the story, as if it was being told directly to him or her. So, children, that's it from the definition. Let's see how to write a story and principles of story writing. Story writing, that is narrative writing, tells a story or part of a story, contains plot, conflict, characterization, setting, theme, point of view, sequence, and transitions. The format of story writing. So here in format of story writing, the first thing is beginning. Here we have to open the story, begin the story with the interesting phrases like Adam wasn't fixed, the day was departing, the breeze was messaging his face, every morning is used to walk there, but that day was different. So such like interesting phrases can be used in the beginning to start a story writing. The next important thing is character introduction. A few dialogues can reveal the characters in a well way, but remember to keep them limited, otherwise the story will look like a one-act play. So, few dialogues can reveal the character in a well way, but remember to keep them limited, otherwise the story will be like a one-act play. The third thing is the plot. Plot means here description of happening in their best order. So what all happened that can be explained in the described way in the plot. Then the fourth one is the conclusion, that is the end of the story. So this is the format of writing story writing, children. Let's see the features of narrative writing, that is story writing now. The salient features of a good story writing. So here within the given limits, students are left with enough space where they can give expression to their creative talents. The beginning and the concluding lines must support the main part or the events described in the story. Things to remember when you start write a story writing. Story must be creative, imaginative, and effective. Short story writing in English is no doubt an artful task. That's why students are generally engrossed in with the questions like how to write a good and interesting short story plot, how to write a story plan, how to write a creative story, and generally ask tips on how to write a good short story. Writing a good short story requires a lot of techniques and planning. If you are searching for a place to get how to get a better at writing stories, fortunately you are on the right platform now. Conclusion. The center character may win or may lose, exposing the reality of society's reality. Story writing. There are many genres, types of stories that children like to hear. First one is fairy tale, then legends, fables, then myths, then mystery, historical tales, ghost stories, classics, romantic tales, humorous stories, etc. So these are the genres, that is types of stories, children. First one is fairy tales, legends, fable, myths, mystery, historical tales, ghost stories, classic, romantic stories, tales, humorous stories, etc. So these are the various genres of stories, children. The list is almost endless. So here in this list we have lot of extra and more stories are there. The list is almost endless. Once you decide the genre of the story you want to write, you need to know the structure of the story to help you write an effective story. When you want to write this type of stories, once you decide the genre stories you want to write, and you need to know the structure of the story to help you write an effective story, children. Children, as we saw the structure and the format of the story, here is the structure of a story. First thing is the beginning, as I told you. So here in the beginning, we need to mention and we need to write where, when does the story take place, who are the characters, and what is the problem. So in the beginning, so these things should be written in the story writing. So I will repeat, where and when does the story take place, who are the characters, and what is the problem. So these three things should be there in the beginning of the story writing, children. Then in the middle area, what does the character do to solve the problem? So the next thing, what does the character do to solve the problem, and what other problems do the character face? What other problems do the characters face? So these two things must be there in the middle area of the story writing. I'll repeat, children. What does the character do to solve the problem? Then what other problems do the characters face? So these are the two things should be there in the middle of the story. Then at last the end, that is the conclusion. How does the story end? Is the problem solved or not? So in the end it should be concluded with the thing, that is how does the story end, and it is the problem solved or not. So these are the structure of story writing, children: beginning, middle and end. So likewise you have to write a story writing, children. So these are the structure. So you can make use of structure to create your own story writing with these key points and how to write the story writing, children. Children, after selecting the genre, see here, let's start our own story. Follow the steps below and get started. First thing is, you have to pick the genre of the story you prefer. So which genre you are going to write, that should be selected first. So pick the genre of a story you prefer. The next one, note your ideas of the lines given. So these are the ideas to make you ready the story. First thing is decide on the main characters who. So who are the main characters? Number of the characters and their names. So who else must be there? So this is the way you have to plot the story, children. First you should decide the main characters that are the number of the characters of the story. Then next one, decide the characteristics of each. So what are the characteristics of each character? That should also be mentioned and noted next. The next thing is give them a background. Give them a background means, for example, here it was given two examples. First one is, are they students, friends, related to each other, etc. So the characters are, what is the relationship they are in the story, what background they are in this story. So are they students, friends, related to each other, etc. And second thing is, are they on holiday, official tour or celebration, etc. On what occasion the story is going on. And the next thing is, first thing is relationship, and the second thing is the occasion, and on what basis the story is started, on what background the story is started. So this is known as background, children. So this is the way you have to plot the story. So you have to first pick out the genre of the story you prefer, then note your ideas of these lines given. These are the helplines to make your story plot, children. First you should decide the main characters and number of characters and their names. Names should be decided and the number of characters should be decided first. Then decide the characteristics of each, that is the behavior of the characters should be decided here. Then give them a background. Give them a background means and each character on what basis they are the relatives, friends, or related to each other, or on what occasion these people are coming under this story. In this story, that should also be decided in this plot, children. So this is the way you have to prepare and you have to start your own story writing, children. Children, let's start our 9th exercise. Exercise number 9 with the date 10/12/20. The title is story writing. So children, exercise number 9, 10/12/20. Story writing. It should be written in the center of the page. Draw lines, children. So question should be written always in the left side of your composition note. Let's start write the exercise number 9, story writing, children. Look at the question here. Develop a story from the hints that given below with a suitable title. So look at the outline here. Let's read the outline. Martin, a cobbler, his son died, no interested in life, a religious man, remind that Martin could not judge God's ways, then heard of voice, H-E-A-R-D, heard a voice, Martin, tomorrow I shall come. Next morning, an old man stood shivering in cold. Martin offered tea. O-F-F-E-R-E-D, offered tea. Next morning, a poor woman with a baby in arms. Martin gave food and cabbage, C-A-B-B-A-G-E, cabbage soup, S-O-U-P, soup, cabbage soup. Martin kept on waiting, but no one came. Martin kept on waiting, but no one came. Next word, Martin crossed himself. The Lord had really come to him. So this is the hint, children. I'll read the hint again. Outline, Martin. In between you have to give dots, children, because it is just a hints. We are going to develop it as a story. Okay, so Martin, then a cobbler, then his son died, no interested life, a religious man reminded that Martin could not judge God's ways, heard a voice, Martin, tomorrow I shall come. Next morning, an old man stood shivering Shivering, shivering in cold. Martin offered tea, Offered. Next morning, a poor woman with a baby in arms. Martin gave food and cabbage soup. Martin kept on waiting, but no one came. Martin crossed himself. The Lord had really come to him. So, children, this is the hint. So, exercise number 9, day 10, 12, 20, story writing. So, this should be written in the left side of your composition note, children. So, this is the hint. So, with this, we are going to develop a story with a suitable title. Children, let's start the right side. That is the answer. That is the story here. So, you have to write the exercise number. The same exercise number 9 and date 10, 12, 20 with the title story writing. It should be underlined. Then look at the title for the story. Where there is love, there is God. So the title of the story is, you have to give suitable title, no children. So according to the story, we have given the suitable title here. Where there is love, there is God. So this is the title for the story. Let's read the story here. In a certain, certain, certain town, 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 there, there, lived a cobbler, 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 named Martin. So children, the last story, first line of the story should be start like this only. It can be written as once upon a time, or otherwise it can be written as in a certain town. In a certain town, or else it can be written as once upon a time. Okay, so this is the way you should start the starting sentence of a story. So to start a story, you should be start like this only, children. So in certain town, there lived a cobbler named Martin, Martin, Martin. He could recognize people by their boots. He could recognize people by their boots. His only son died. And Martin didn't, short form of notice int, so didn't wish to live anymore. His only son died and Martin didn't wish to live anymore. One day, a nobleman reasoned with Martin. One day, a nobleman, Noble, noble man, reasoned, Reasoned, reasoned with Martin. He told him that they couldn't judge God's ways. He told him that they couldn't judge, judge God's ways. Martin fell asleep. Fell, asleep, asleep. Suddenly, he heard a voice. Heard, heard a voice. Martin, look out into the street tomorrow. Martin, look out into the street tomorrow. For I shall come. For I shall come. Next morning, he saw an old man shivering in cold. Next morning, he saw an old man shivering, shivering in cold. He asked him to sit down and have some tea. Martin kept looking out into the street. The old man thanked Martin for his hospitality and went away. The old man thanked, thanked Martin for his hospitality, Hospitality. Hospitality, and went away. No one came. No one came. Next morning, he saw a poor woman standing with a baby. Martin called her inside and he lent her his own bed. He lent her his bed and gave some bread, and cabbage juice, cabbage, cabbage soup, soup, cabbage soup, cabbage soup, cabbage soup. After some time, the woman had gone with his. After some time, the woman had gone. His eyes were. So, children, that's all from this page. Let's turn the page and write in the right side of your composition note, because left side only the question must be written. So, one answers must be written only in the right side. Children, let's continue and write in the right side. See here, where still, still, still fixed outside. Were still fixed outside. His eyes were still, still fixed, fixed, fixed outside. Full stop. And a voice whispered. Whispered means speaking in a low voice. A voice, 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 whispered, whispered, whispered in his ear. Martin, Martin, don't you know me? Martin looked around in surprise, 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 and out of dark corner stopped a old man. Out of the dark corner stopped the old man. It is I. Then the figure disappeared. And out of the dark corner stopped the old man. It is I. Then the figure disappeared. D-I-S, P-E-R-E-D, disappeared. And now the woman with the baby laughed and vanished. Vanished also the same meaning like disappeared only, children. So vanish means disappeared. And now a woman with the baby laughed and vanished. He understood that his dream had come true. He understood that his dream had come true. And the Lord had really come to him that day, and he had welcomed him. So I'll repeat, children. He understood that his dream had come true, and the Lord had really come to him that day, and he had welcomed him. So that's all from the story, children. Look at the moral of the story. Help the poor and needy. Help the poor and needy. So this is the moral. So first you have to start the story writing with the title, beginning, then story, then at last it should be end with the moral. So that's all from the story writing, children. Children, let's move on to the next exercise, that is paragraph writing. What is a paragraph? A paragraph is a group of sentences about a single topic. Together, the sentences of paragraph explain the writer's main idea about the topic. Together, the sentences of paragraph explain the writer's main idea about the topic. In academic writing, a paragraph is often between 5 to 10 sentences long, but it can be longer or shorter depending on the topic. Children, let's start the composition of email writing that we are going to write in our composition note. In academic writing, a paragraph is often between 5 to 10 sentences long, but It can be longer or shorter depending on the topic. So that is known as paragraph writing, children. Children, that's it from the definition. Let's see how to write a paragraph. Let's see the parts of paragraph writing, children. A paragraph has three basic parts. First part is the topic sentence. The second part is the supporting sentences. And the third part is the concluding sentence. So I'll repeat, children. The paragraph writing contains three basic parts. First part is the topic sentence. The second part is the supporting sentences. And the third part is the concluding sentence. Let's see one by one now. Let's see about the first one, the topic sentence. This is the main idea of a paragraph. It is usually the first sentence of the paragraph, and it is the most general sentence of the paragraph. I'll repeat, children. The topic sentence. This is the main idea of a paragraph. It is usually the first sentence of the paragraph, and it is the most general sentence of the paragraph also. Let's move on to the supporting sentences. The supporting sentences. These are the sentences that talk about or explain the topic sentence. They are more detailed ideas that follow the topic sentence. They are the more detailed ideas that follow the topic sentence. So, the supporting sentences, these are the sentences that talk about or explain the topic sentence, children, and they are more detailed ideas that follow the topic sentence. Let's move on to the next type of sentence, that is the concluding sentence and the final sentence also. Now the third part, the concluding sentence. This may be found as the last sentence of the paragraph. It can finish a paragraph by repeating the main idea or just giving a final comment about the topic. So, the concluding sentence, this may be found as the last sentence of the paragraph. It can finish a paragraph by repeating the main idea or just giving a final comment about the topic. So, that is known as concluding sentence, children. So, the paragraph writing was divided into three main topics. First one is the topic sentence. Second one is the supporting sentences. And the third one is the concluding sentence, children. Now, let's move on to how to write a paragraph. Paragraph writing has following four stages. That is, first one is pre-writing, second one is writing, third one is editing, and the fourth one is publishing. So I'll repeat, children. Paragraph writing has four stages, has the following four stages, that is pre-writing, writing, editing, and publishing. Let's see one by one now. Let's see about the first stage, that is pre-writing the paragraph. So what is meant by pre-writing the paragraph? So this is the stage when you think carefully and organize your ideas for your paragraph before you begin writing. So children, pre-writing the paragraph means this is the stage when you think carefully and organize your ideas for your paragraph before you begin writing. So that is known as pre-writing the paragraph, children. That is the first stage of paragraph writing. Children, let's see the pre-writing steps. There are 6 pre-writing steps are there. First one is think carefully about what you are going to write. Second step, open your notebook. Third step, collect facts related to your paragraph. And fourth step, write down your own ideas. Fifth step, find main ideas. And sixth step, organize your facts and ideas in a way that develops your main ideas. So these are the pre-writing steps, children. I'll repeat. First step is think carefully about what you're going to write. Second step, open your notebook. Third step, collect facts related to your paragraph. And the fourth step, write down your own ideas. Fifth step, find main ideas. Sixth step, organize your facts and ideas in a way that develop your main idea. So these are the 6 steps is the pre-writing steps that we can use to make your own paragraph writing, children. Let's move on to the next stage, that is writing the paragraph. The writing stage is when you turns your idea into sentences. So the writing stage is when you turns your idea into sentences. There are 5 steps of writing the paragraph. We are going to see the steps also here. First step, open your notebook, write topic sentence, supporting sentences and concluding sentence. So we are going to see 5 steps. First one is open your notebook. Next, write your topic sentence, then supporting sentences and concluding sentence. Then the third step is write clear and simple supporting sentences. Then fourth step, focus on main idea of the paragraph. Then fifth step is use dictionary to help you find additional words to explain your idea. So in the writing stage, children, we can turn our ideas into sentences. So here we have 5 steps. The first step, open your notebook. Second step, write topic sentence, supporting sentences and concluding sentence. And the third step is write clear and simple supporting sentences. Fourth step, focus on main idea of the paragraph. And fifth step, use dictionary to help you find additional words to explain your ideas. So that's all from the second stage, that is writing stage of the paragraph writing, children. Let's move on to the third stage, that is editing stage. Children, look at the editing stage. Here the editing the paragraph. Here the editing stage is when you check your paragraph for mistakes and correct them. So in editing stage, you can check your paragraph for mistakes and correct them. The steps to correct the editing stage: grammar and spellings. So the main mistakes on about grammar and spellings. The first step is check your spelling, and the second step, check your grammar. Third step, read your paragraph again. Fourth step, make sure that each sentence has a subject. Then fifth step, see if your subjects and verbs agree with each other. And sixth step, make sure that each sentence makes sense. Let's see the third stage, that is the publishing stage. Here, publishing of the paragraph. The publishing stage is when you produce a final copy of your paragraph to hand in. So the publishing stage is when you produce a final copy of your paragraph to hand in. So let's see the steps of publishing. There are 3 steps of publishing. They are: make a paper copy of your paragraph, show your work to your teacher, tutor or parents, ask them for hints and suggestion to improve your writing. So children, the last and final stage is publishing stage. In the publishing stage, you can produce a final copy of your paragraph to hand in. The steps are 3 steps. Make a paper copy of your paragraph, show your work to your teacher, tutor or parents, ask them for hints and suggestions to improve your writing. So that's all from all stages, children. let's see the composition paragraph writing that to be written in the composition note. Children, let's start our exercise number 10. Date 14/12/20. Paragraph writing. So the title must be written in the center of the page, and you have to draw a line, children. So look at the question here. Write a paragraph on value of discipline. So this is the title, and the question should be written in the left side, children. So the next exercise is exercise number 10. Date is 14/12/20. Paragraph writing. Draw a line and write the title in the center of the page, children, in your composition note, and write the question in the left side of your composition note, children. Write a paragraph on value of discipline. So the title is value of discipline. So let's move on to the right side of the composition note. Now let's start the paragraph writing that should be written in the, so you have to follow the same thing. Exercise number 10, 14/12/20. The title is paragraph writing. It should be written in the center of the page. Draw a line using scale pencil, children. Write the title. Next, value of discipline. Draw lines, underline it. Then look at the paragraph here. Let's start the paragraph now. Discipline, DISCIPLINE. Discipline can be defined as a mode of ideal contact-based obedience to law. So children, discipline can be defined as a mode of ideal, IDEAL, ideal contact, CONDUCT, contact based on obedience, OBEDIENCE, obedience to law. Regularity and sense of duty. Obedience to law, regularity, REGULARITY. Regularity and sense of duty, SENSE, sense of duty. So discipline can be defined as a mode of ideal conduct based on obedience to law, regularity and sense of duty. So look at the next sentence, children. Discipline is the national virtue of great people. Discipline is the national virtue, VIRTUE, virtue of great people. In discipline lies the strength of a nation. In discipline lies the strength, STRENGTH, strength of a nation. So I'll repeat the lines again, children. Discipline is the national virtue of great people. Then the next line, in discipline lies the strength of a nation. So that's all. Look at the next sentence. We can notice discipline in our nature too. We can notice discipline in our nature too. The earth, the moon, the sun all follow a certain system. So can notice discipline in our nature, not in our nature, in the earth's nature, that is in the world nature. So we can notice discipline in our nature too, that is the earth, the sun, the moon all follow certain system. So discipline is necessary. Discipline is necessary in all walks of life. So discipline is necessary in all walks of life. Whether it is playground or it is school or it is college. So wherever it is, whether it is ground or it is school or college, discipline is very important everywhere. So whether it is playground or it is school or it is college, discipline is important everywhere. Without it, our goal can never be achieved. So without discipline, without it, our goal can never be achieved. ACHIEVED, achieved. Children must be taught to obey their parents, their teachers. So children must taught to obey their parents and their teachers. So, I'll repeat, children, whether it is playground or it is school or college, discipline is very important everywhere. Without it, our goal can never be achieved. Without it, our goal can never be achieved. Children must be taught to obey their parents and their teachers. So let's move on to the next line. They must be taught to follow the norms of life. They must be taught to follow the norms of life. To follow the rules of discipline inside and outside the homes. So they must be taught to follow the norms of life. They must be taught to follow the norms of life, to follow the rules of discipline inside and outside the house. So that's all from the side, children, right side. If the page is over, you need to write only in the right side of the next new page, children. Let's see the next page now. We should get inspiration, 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 inspiration from their lives of the great men such as Mahatma Gandhi and Abraham Lincoln, etc. So, we should get inspiration from the lives of the great men such as Mahatma Gandhi and Abraham Lincoln, etc. So, these people, they followed discipline in their life. So, we must also follow and inspired by these people, and we have to follow the same, children. So, we should get inspiration from the lives of the great men such as Mahatma Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, etc. These great persons valued discipline in entire life. So, these great persons valued discipline in entire life. ENTIRE, entire life. We should also do the same in order to achieve the highest goal. We should also do the same in order to achieve the highest goal. Discipline should be our guide and guardian. So, children, discipline should be our guide and guardian. We must keep it in mind that a disciplined boy or girl is loved and liked by all. So, that's all. This is the concluding and the last line and closing line of the paragraph, children. So, discipline should be our guide and guardian. We must keep it in our mind that a disciplined boy or girl is loved and liked by all. So, we must be a disciplined boy or girl in our life by inspiring such great people like Mahatma Gandhi and Abraham Lincoln, children. So that's all from paragraph writing, children. So this is the paragraph about value of discipline. So write the paragraph and the question should be written the left side and answer should be written in the right side. And if the page is over, you should take the next page and write only in the right side. So follow the rules and write the composition paragraph writing neatly in the composition note, children. So that's all from the paragraph writing value of discipline. So children, in this today's session, we discussed the two compositions, that is exercise number 8, story writing, and the exercise number 9, paragraph writing. So write the composition neatly and follow the rules and try to develop your own story writing and paragraph writing and in your leisure time. So use the guidelines and the key points and tips that I have given. So follow the things and try to make your own paragraph writing and story writing in your leisure time. So that's all from today's session, children, from the composition part.